3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Corey. Ever since I went keto, one of the things that I have missed, besides Chinese food and pho and sushi, but those are recipes for another day, I have missed pizza. Now I'm one of those pizza guys that have like pineapple and ham on my pizza. So delicious. But there is a Domino's down the street that I used to go to, but that no longer happens. But for those of you cooking for your family, you can still order that Domino's for them and then make this pizza on the side that I'm getting ready to show you, and you will quickly convert them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty. So we're gonna get down to it, the nitty gritty. This recipe is probably one of my favorites. It is low carb. It's probably not keto, but it is low carb. So it all depends on your portion size. So we're gonna go over the ingredients that you're gonna need to make this pizza. And the cool thing about this pizza is that there is opportunity and a room for you to be creative. That's what cooking is all about, in my opinion, to be creative. All right, so the first thing we need is what? Crust, right? So there's a couple different crusts I have here. I'm going to show you those. This one is by, I'm not sure who this is by, but this one, that's actually a pretty good crust. Make sure you check out the ingredients. This is not my favorite, but it's very, very, very low carb. My favorite is the rustic crust. You can get this at any Whole Food store. This is delicious. It is a cauliflower crust, so that's the difference between this and regular pizza. I think cauliflower crust makes it a little bit more tasty. Some other things you're gonna need is arugula. I'll tell you what to do with that later. You're gonna need 2 cheeses. I like Monterey and mozzarella. You will need some garlic. This is basil. I love basil on pizza, delicious. Some butter. You know, I like the fresh, organic kind of butter. You're also gonna need some olive oil, some black pepper, and salt. Now this is pink salt, Himalayan salt. If you don't know about pink or Himalayan salt, you need to check that out. Man, it just makes your food pop. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. The first thing you want to do is set your oven to 450 or 425, depending on how your oven works. Then you're going to take about a tablespoon of butter, and you're going to take a little bit of the garlic. I'm just going to use this knife. I just kind of judge it here. A little bit of the garlic, throw it in there. Bam. Then you're going to put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Now, while that's doing this thing in the microwave, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my journey, my weight loss journey. So, golly, over the last 10 years, I probably tried to lose weight. I can't even count how many times. There was always these false starts, and I could never discipline myself to move forward. However, this time was a little bit different. There was a little bit more motivation this time and discipline. Plus, I had all the experiences of all those other times. I think that's done. I had all the experiences of the previous years that taught me how my body was and what my body was like. So, we're going to come over here. I'm going to show you what to do with the crust. So that's just butter and garlic. So you can see it's melted here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move this over here for now. Put the arugula over there. All right. Okay, this is the cauliflower crust. All you're going to do is grab a brush, mix it up a little bit. You just want to get it on the crust. Get it nice, get it brown. I just like to do that. Just get it all on there. Get it all, get it all on there. Yeah. Make sure you get the edges. That's the most important, the edges. You don't want this to burn up. The other thing that you're gonna find with cauliflower crust, especially with these Roma tomatoes, is that these are a little juicy. These are a little juicy, so you don't want your crust to be soggy. You want it to be nice and firm. So that's nice and done. The other thing I like to do is put a little bit of pepper, not much, just get a little bit in there. And you want to put this in the oven for about 7 minutes. Okay. We're going to let that go for about 7 minutes. While that's going, we want to get the stove going. So we're going to get the stove. We're going to get up to about, we're going to put up to 4 and just let it sit there for a minute, right? With the skillet right on there. While that's going, take your arugula, make sure it's been in the fresh air for a second. Put a little olive oil in there. Himalayan salt. A little pepper. Get it nice. You just want to toss it. You just want to get it tossed in there. You might need a little bit more pepper. A little bit more pepper. Alrighty. And you just want to set that off to the side here. So while that's doing its thing for about 7 minutes, you can be shredding the cheese, which we've already done here. So the question is, how was this time losing weight different from the time before? Well, I'm a little bit older, I'm a little bit more disciplined, and the biggest thing was that I had a plan. When my mind, my body wanted that Reese cup or wanted that real deal pizza at 8 p.m. at night, I picked up a bottle of water and I picked up a book to read. I just had a plan where I went to the studio and I played guitar. There was just a plan in place where I took my mind off of that fixation. The other thing is that I'm getting older and I have a daughter and I want to watch her, grow up and have a family and do those things as well. And the other reason is that we came up with a new brand as well called No Excuses. I know it sounds silly and trite, but the reality is that we have me personally, I had all these excuses as to why I couldn't lose weight. I have all these things that I told myself that I couldn't do. And for some reason, there was something that shifted in me when we started talking about that No Excuses brand. It's that, man, I have to live these things out. I have to now make changes, and I can no longer say, well, I don't have time to cook dinner, or I don't have time to lose weight, or I don't have time to be healthy, or whatever the excuse was. Really what it boiled down to was that I feared change, right? I feared reaching those goals. And so once you understand that about yourself, then you can begin to put a plan together to move past some of that crap that you put in the way of your own self-improvement and growth. All right, I'm going to show you what's next. And Roma tomatoes. Now, we didn't talk about those earlier, but this recipe calls for Roma tomatoes. Now, if you've never had a Roma tomato, these things are delicious. What we're going to do is we're going to slice these, and probably about an inch or less. This is something you're going to play with, and you'll get better with this recipe as you go on. And we're just going to slice them up. I'm going to show you. We're going to time it so as soon as the pizza comes out, we're going to be putting the Roma tomatoes on the pizza. So we're going to slice these up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drop them here. We're just going to drop them on the pan here for about 2 minutes each side. 2 minutes each side, okay? But the cool thing about this recipe is that when your family does try this recipe against the Dominos, they're going to quickly forget about the Dominos. And the cool thing about this recipe as well is that you can add those pineapples, you can add that ham, you can add whatever you want. Alrighty, now that you've cooked the Roma tomatoes for about 2 minutes on each side, the next thing you're going to do is place them onto the pizza. Now, you can use as many or as little as you would like. It's totally up to you and your preference. I love these things, so I try to use as much as I can. Next, I like to use basil. Put a little basil on there. Gives it a little bit of a pop. Take some pepper. Here's my 2 cheeses. This is the mozzarella. You basically want to cover up any holes that you see. Now my favorite, the Monterey. Yeah, get it nice. All right. Just enough. You can use as much cheese as you like. Just know your portion size. And we're going to put this back in the oven, get the cheese melted, probably for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes depending on your oven. We are now at the predestined time to take the pizza out. Now this is the time when your kids are going to be wondering what you're eating and they're going to be nosy. Don't share it with them, tell them no. That's how you get them. Yeah, that's how you get them to want to try it. All right. Oh my goodness. Delicious, delicious, and nutritious. Look at that. All righty. Let's cut into this thing. We take the arugula, put a little bit on there. That is our low carb pizza. It is delicious. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and we'll see you next time. Peace and love. That's a wrap.